Hello, right. So I'm Biohacking Joe Bains. So I've just come out of a 7-day darkness retreat. So this was in the Czech Republic, just outside of Prague, and this is basically a room inside a room. So the room is in complete darkness. It's the equivalent of sitting in a cave for 7 days. And I wanted to intensify because for me it felt like 7 days wasn't long enough. So what I did was I did it while fasting. So all I had was herbal teas and water. And then on top of that, I thought to intensify even more, I will train. So I was doing my 1 hour Tony Robbins Priming 3 times a day. And on top of that, I was doing my planking, standing on my head, all the other exercises as well. So I was doing about 4 hours of exercise every day with no food, just water and herbal teas. Now, the first 3 days, I did a lot of exercise. It was great because I still had a lot of energy, but there was no special effects. So what darkness does, by day 4, I could start seeing lights. I could start seeing flashes in my head. So the world starts lighting up. So interesting things slowly start to emerge. And what I noticed for me was that it felt like there was a fog lifting up around me. Because I had these lights which were originally in a fog, but then as the days wore on, they became brighter and clearer and clearer. And so over here I had a red light. Over there on this side of me was a white light. I think on this side was like a light blue light, and behind me was a yellow light. Now when I was training, doing all my exercises, and these lights came on, they created a shadow onto an invisible wall, or where the wall was supposed to be. Or so if there was a light behind me, it created a shadow of me on the wall in front of me exercising. And I could see, so by day 4, whether you've got your eyes closed or open makes no difference. You see the same things, you see the same lights. So your visions do not change. In fact, what happens is you keep forgetting whether your eyes are open or closed. So you're checking them constantly because you're seeing all these visions, you're seeing these lights, but your eyes could be closed. So you go, oh, my eyes closed, and you try to close them. And then you find out they're actually closed already. Or they could be open and you think they're closed, and then you try to close them and then you close them. So that was the thing that I enjoyed with that, in that I could see all these. And then on day 4, the other thing that happened, I started seeing visions. So it was like from day 4 onwards, I started being able to, it was like a projector, like a film playing in my head in front of my eyes. And this film was like a black and white movie that was playing for hours in front of me. Wherever I looked, whether I had my eyes closed, whether I had my eyes open, this movie was playing. And it was an old black and white movie. I think it was either America or Europe, and the dates in 1884 and 1894 kept coming up, because sometimes in the movie it would go to like a newspaper or a piece of paper, and there would be the date. And so I remember the date from that. And a lot of the movie, because I was also fasting, a lot of the movie was about food. So in my movie that I was watching, there'd be like all these big vats of food, or some food being transported from here to here, or some farming, but basically all around food. It's driving me crazy because I was fasting. And so I just saw vats and vats of food being cooked everywhere. And the movie was, I think it looked like it was in America, and it was on a farm, because there was kids playing, and they were taking this stuff. So yeah, so that was a movie. It was a black and white movie. But then the lights got brighter and brighter. And the other thing I noticed, there was something special that I noticed. I became a lot more like, you're not alone. So these lights, it made you feel like you were standing on a stage, and these lights were there to light you up. And so it felt like I was never alone. It was like there was always, I was like a character. I was playing a character, and my character was Joe, this person, and that these lights were there to fill me. That's what it felt like. And so at no time during this complete darkness retreat where I was alone, did I feel alone. I felt like there was no feeling of loneliness. There was no feeling of being alone. It could also be down to the fact that I was doing a lot of training. But the other problem was I'd done several fasts on that month. And so by the time I got to this 7-day fast, I'd done too many fasting. And so I started having low blood pressure. I started being very lethargic, very tired. And plus, every place I stayed in were vegan. What the fuck is going on, right? So every place was vegan. So the whole time I was there, I didn't eat any meat. For the whole month, I didn't eat any meat. And my body craves meat. It needs eggs, it needs fish, it needs liver, you know, all kinds of other meats, you know, steak. And I wasn't getting any of that. So I started having heart palpitations, low blood pressure, like all the lethargic stuff. And even when I came out of it, I Googled it when I came out of the darkness retreat, and I found I had all the symptoms of B12 deficiency. I Googled the shit, and I was like, shit, I better order some B12. But I had a meat dish, purely meat, with the coffee in this cafe, and about half an hour later, all my signs in my body just went back to normal. My blood pressure normalized, my heart palpitations disappeared, my energy levels came back up. It was like they didn't exist. So I don't know whether that was hormonal or whatever it was, but yeah, I've noticed if I don't eat meat for several days, I mean several weeks, I start having problems. So there's something I'm missing that meat provides for me. Or maybe I just like meat, and that's probably what it is. So that was the darkness retreat. The thing with the darkness retreat is it was too short. 7 days is not long enough, because what it does, it increases the amount of DMT in your body slowly in your brain, and the real effects only start coming from day 5 onwards. So you need to be doing it for like 15 or 20 days to get the full effect. But basically you end up, I think probably from about day 10 onwards, you end up in a prolonged DMT experience. So a very stretched out DMT experience. So I don't know if you know, DMT only lasts 10 to 20 minutes, the trip. But here, if I had done like 20 days, then it would have been from day 10 to day 20. So I would have had a 20-day extended DMT experience where I would have been connected directly up there. So what I want to do next is I want to repeat this, but I want to do it for 21 days. And and be able to, and have some sort of diet rather than fasting, but in a specialized diet or with some herbal teas and shit. So that was it was amazing. It was really good. I learned a lot from it, but 7 days is too short. Don't do 7 days. Do 15 days, do 21 days, do 30 days. So do a lot more. I will do a 21 day and I'll report back on that. So thank you very much. Check me out, Biohacking Joe Bains. And I'm writing a book at the moment. So I'm writing a book on biohacking, supercharged you. And I'm also creating a Udemy course on biohacking, supercharged you. So watch out for those. You'll start seeing adverts for it at some point. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.